She's the woman who made the breakthrough for other women to do what she does, as long as they've got her talent. But they can't because she's got it all. She's Victoria Wood. Victoria, we've just seen the Egyptian Nellie quiz, and Nellie is clearly a great talent, and her Michael Jackson impersonation was really astonishing, wasn't it?
That's a word, yes, astonishing. It was a strange impression, wasn't it? It was a sort of bit as if you'd asked Nanette Newman to do Bernard Manning. You know, you think, well, a good try, but why did you bother?
Are you a keen dancer as a teenager?
No, I never went out. I didn't go out for years. I just used to sit in and watch black and white television. I was 28 before I knew people came in colour. I didn't...
Fabio, let's get on to Fabio.
Oh, yeah, let's get on to him.
He was terrific.
You need a stepladder.
Do you feel that way about him, that you find him sexy?
Well, he obviously finds himself sexy, so that'll do. He obviously thinks he's the bees, well, not even the knees, but I say not the bees' bollocks, I was going to say. I don't even know if they have them. I don't know what they are.
Well, what's your favourite part of Fabio?
Well, of course, his hair. He was like a borzoi, wasn't he, really? But he's the sort of person who would always be fiddling with it. You could imagine it would be there with the hot tongs and the sculpt and style. You know, you didn't get any sense out of him. I prefer bald heads, I have to say.
Okay.
Yes, I do. Well, I've been with a baldy for about 17 years, so I've got used to it now. And they're rather handy, you know, you can see your face in them. Hot day, you can fry an egg on one. I think it's all. The thing about Fabio's face is he looks like he was drawn by somebody who was fired by Walt Disney, doesn't he? He looks like the prototype of Beauty and the Beast. He said, oh, come on, people don't look like that. You know?
Well, I hate to be too forward about this, but I'm going to risk it. Could you share one of your fantasies with us?
I'm just hopeless at fantasies. I used to try and have fantasies. I used to try and have sexual fantasies. And I used to try and imagine the big hunky men in ripped jeans were coming to the front door. But instead of them saying things like, I have a burning urge for you, they're always going, have you got a needle and thread? I've torn these.
Fabio pays a lot of attention to his body. You know, he obviously he pumps iron and so on. At least. Are you?
Well, he doesn't talk back, I suppose.
You mean he's got an intimate relationship with a barbell? You do exercise? You an exercise fanatic?
I was at it this morning. Only this morning I was doing my aerobics, and we were doing press-ups, and the girl was saying, now girls, get your boobs on the floor. I think, look, they're already on the floor. I don't need to do it. But they're a handicap. Having big bosoms is a handicap when you do aerobics. So I've got this thing called a minimal bounds exercise bra, which I sort of struggle into. I'm trying to get 2 blancmanges into an envelope. And but they're very good bras, but they make you completely flat-chested at the front. They just sort of sends them around the back. And as you doing your aerobics, the man behind you is having a wonderful time.
I'm sorry to seem obsessed with Fabio. Perhaps it says something about me, but I can't get my mind off him, as it were. Do you think those huge muscles of his are compensating for inadequacies in other areas, perhaps?
The earlobe or something like that, ankles. I don't know, he looks like, because he looks so plastic, he looks like he'd be one of those dolls and he would just have a seam, you know, like...
But Fabio's not just a pretty face attached to magnificent pectorals, he's writing...
Yes, I think he is.
Well, that aside, he is writing romantic novels. Are you a fan of those sort of books?
Well, I quite like those, you know, there's very, very thick ones, because I was thinking I could do a step class on it in an emergency. I like them unless I don't like descriptive sex, you know, if it says something like, he entered her, I don't think, I don't have to know that, because it's not going to be, he entered her for the Daily Mail competition.
Fabio lives in Hollywood, where the plastic surgeons live, and I think a lot about plastic surgery as time goes on. Have you, I mean, it's a rude question, but have you got any bits you'd like to change, as it were?
I don't know. You see, I'll tell you something. I had a lump taken off my arm a bit ago, just testing, see how I liked it, and I thought I could have a few more lumps taken off if it worked. And that, you see, you get a horrible scar. Would you imagine if you had your bosoms in and your legs, you'd look like you'd sat in a wicker chair with no clothes on, wouldn't you? No, a lot of my friends friends are having things done. A friend of mine had, you know, bits taken off here, bits taken off here, bits taken off here. She's having bits left over. They made up a matching handbag off herself. And another friend of mine, she had all the loose skin taken away from under her arms and had them all tightened up. I mean, well, she's got nice tight arms. Just if she goes out in the sun, she has to prick them with a fork. Oh, and another friend of mine, she had a breast reduction. She had a breast reduction. Her firm had asked her to have it done because they had she was the secretary, and they had a wipe clean memo board, and her nipples kept erasing and putting. I don't fancy it. Not for me. Not for me.
In America, everyone's always selling you something, and you a sucker for the newfangled gadgets like that pet trainer?
I love things like that. I love that, you know, that catalogue they're always putting through the letterbox, you know, full of things you've never heard of, never knew existed, never seen in the shops, no intention of buying. Before you know where you are, you're ordering 2 collapsible camping bidets. Putting a big tick, yes, I would like my initials put on them. They're full of things, aren't they? They're always full of things like security, you know, window grills and barking dog doorbells to deter burglars. I don't think they would deter a burglar. If I was making a doorbell like that, I'd have it go something like, I'll just put the kettle on, Deirdre. I never realised how tiring it was being a Jehovah's Witness. And in this catalogue, I had a whole load of personal alarms. They had one for the elderly. It had a photograph of an elderly woman conked out on the garden path. And underneath it said, Mrs. Smith knows help is on the way. Well, who from? I mean, not the person who took the photograph, presumably. I bought loads of things out of this catalogue. I ordered a barbecue that fitted into a filing cabinet and a special lockable toilet roll holder that lets you choose how many pieces of paper your guests can tear up.
The pet trainer seems suspiciously effective. Do you think the infomercial could possibly be faked?
No, I think it was entirely accurate. And since I have taken my new chat show tablet, Clive, I believe everything that you say.
Well, Americans are very very big on infomercials, and they use celebrities in them, and they pay their celebrities a lot of money. Any product that you would endorse in an infomercial?
If I was a complete liar, I'd like to do one of those slimming things, you know, like when the one called the Slim Fast plan, and a woman holds up a photograph of herself. She goes, "Hello, my name is Patrina Madwoman, and this is me when I was 29 stone 8. Now, after only 3 weeks of drinking Slim Fast vanilla creosote, I'm 6 stone 4. 1 delicious, nutritious shake for breakfast, 1 for lunch, and by tea time I'm snatching chocolate buttons off small children."
You had a baby since we last met. Did you go to antenatal class before you had the baby?
I did. I went to 6 antenatal classes, and you know they're run by liars, people who run antenatal classes, because what you want to know is how much is it going to hurt, and they say, oh, no, it doesn't hurt. They say having a baby, it's not painful, you see, because there's not a pain. You see, it's a muscle contracting. It's not a pain. And you think, oh yes, and Hamlet was written by 2 estate agents. And they say if it gets a little bit uncomfortable, as you get into the delivery room, just ask for an epidural. They don't tell you that as you're wheeled into the delivery room, howling and screaming and blaming your husband for everything from the start of the Second World War onwards. You glance down in the hospital car park, see a big coach leaving, balloons, streamers, people waving, big notice on the side, anaesthetist day out. And you say to the nurse, who looks about 14 and a half, "Can I have an epidural?" She goes, "Oh, not today. I think you can have one next Thursday." I say, no, I need one now. "Can you give me an epidural?" She says, "Well, not really. I've only ever done it on a grapefruit." Hang on, I'll ask Arthur. "Arthur, have you got a minute? He's our boiler man, but he's ever so good with his hands."
Victoria, you are a big star now, so why don't we ever see you in Hello magazine, huh? Answer me that.
Why don't we? I mean, I have endless baby after baby, and still the call never comes. I mean, last week there was a whole group shot of celebrity mommies with their celebrity babies for some charity. Nobody asked me to be in this, possibly because I'm not very glamorous, or possibly because my baby looks like something out of the Beano. I don't know. No, he does. He looks like he'd have nits and a jam sandwich somewhere, really. But I love celebrity mommies, though, because they always say things like, of course, I didn't get my figure back straight away. It did take about 20 minutes. I mean, real mothers carry their stomachs up to bed over one arm. When they're in the shower, little bits of Lego they've never even seen fall out of their navel. Oh, my God. And celebrity mommies are always saying things like, sex has improved and been enhanced since they had their baby. I mean, real mommies think sex is like full employment. It's a nice idea, but it'll never happen again in their life.
I love Hello. You obviously you read Hello. Yeah, sure.
I love it.
You've noticed that Hello is just full of celebrities and especially royalty. Have you ever met any royals?
I've met hundreds of them. And the thing you have to remember is they're very, very tiny. And you can't sit down unless they sit down. And you think they are sitting down. And they're not sitting down. They're just very, very small. And so you sit down and then you're in big trouble because you have to stand up again. I mean, I like them, but I think they have a terrible life, don't they? I mean, what a life. I mean, you know, the Queen, she always says being royal is just a job. It's her idea of a job. It's not my idea of a job. I mean, in a job you have friends, don't you? You have a laugh. I mean, I know she has ladies in waiting, but it's not really the same thing. I don't suppose they all sit in the back of the Bentley with a copy of the Daily Mirror going, right, Liz, what are you, Taurus?
Victoria, I wish we could go on forever. We have to stop. Thank you very much, Victoria Wood. We had to stop there because